Hey everyone, I'm Nick.
And I'm Mason.
And welcome to episode 9 of Universe 7's Dragon Ball podcast. Today we're going to be talking about episodes 9 and 81 of Dragon Ball Super, talking Xenoverse 2's new DLC pack, giving some feedback, and just reviewing episodes 9 and 81. So, Mason, how you doing?
I'm doing good this week. I can't complain. I haven't really had too much going on. I went over to our grandmother's place for her birthday today. Just kind of hung out. I had a good week. I worked a whole lot, but I'm on vacation for 10 days now.
Nice.
So
Did you get her the DLC like you said you would?
Yeah, sure did. She's probably playing it right now. She might have beat it already, but that's on her own time.
She'll have to do her own Xenoverse podcast. We're not going to have her on this show,
unfortunately. She might one day, but that's a long shot. She's too good for us. But nothing too crazy went on this week with me. Just started rereading it, actually, my favorite book. It's extremely long, and it'll probably take me another 2 months to finish it again. But if you haven't read it, read it.
If you wanted to, you really could just read it on Wiki.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you do. And you gave me the bad habit of doing that for TV shows that I don't have the time to watch, like Lost. I read the synopsis of the last episode, watched the first episode, and I was like,
now you know.
Sure.
Now you watched Lost.
Yeah, I know everything there is to know. Sorry for any Lost fans out there. I'm sure you're really angry about that, but
we didn't give any spoilers, so we're okay.
No, I'm talking about the blasphemy of not watching it, just watching the first and reading the last episode.
Reading the wiki for the last episode.
But that's pretty much it for me. Not too much new this week. How about you? Anything crazy going on?
Well, tired today because last night Julie and I went into Chicago for a Sister Hazel concert. So, we're about, for those of you who don't know, we're about 2 hours outside of Chicago. And we didn't get back and pick up our son until probably around 1:30 in the morning. So,
sucks.
It's been a weekend. It's 11 o'clock on Saturday right now, p.m. And I've got to be up and out of the house by 6:30 a.m. tomorrow. So,
bright side is I don't have to do that. I get to wake up probably at noon and kind of just enjoy my day. I think I'm gonna go to Target, grocery shop a little bit. It should be a nice day. I'll let you know how it goes.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate
no problem.
it. Nintendo Switch came out.
It sure did. Anybody that gets it and tries it out, let us know how it is, because I really, really want one.
Yeah, that means you, Jeremy, even though you've already sent me video of it on Snapchat.
He got one already?
His coworker got one, and he sent me a snap of him playing Zelda.
Oh, man. I want that new Zelda game so badly. I have been looking online.
You could have bought the game at Best Buy when we were there earlier. You just wouldn't have had the console.
Which is fine. I would at least own it.
Yeah.
No, I was looking online for The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time for N64, since Kayla has that N64 at the house now. I can't find it for cheap. It's so expensive.
No, it's so hard to get.
It's stupid.
We have a N64 here that our mom gave Julie and I.
Did she give you Diddy Kong?
Yeah.
Oh, for real?
You want it?
Oh, yeah, I want it for sure.
Yeah, I'll give it to you before you leave today. But yeah, I did the same thing. I went and looked for Super Mario 64.
I have Super Mario. You want to swap? I have Super Mario 64.
You're fine. You're fine.
All right. I whatever.
But yeah, I'll give you the game.
Yeah, I'm into that.
I did read something funny on The Verge about the Switch, though.
What's that?
They coated the game cartridges in some sort of funky tasting goop. Not goop, but almost like a powder, I guess, to finish.
Sure.
To intentionally make it taste horrible so kids won't eat it.
Hey, that's super smart.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's non-toxic.
Wait, they do cartridges for everything? I don't know too much about it.
No, for the Switch.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so every game is like a cartridge from a DS game. They're actually smaller.
Really?
Yeah. And they coated those in some sort of powdered, nasty. I don't even remember how they described it, but it was terrible. And they reached out to Nintendo and asked why, and it was to deter little kids from eating them.
Why would those people know?
I have no idea.
Well, all right. I guess you got to find out some way, but that's super strange. I had no idea.
Yeah, I thought that was a little bit strange too, but hey, anything to keep kids from choking on a tiny Nintendo cartridge.
But if they choke on it, are they supposed to live?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, that's a little Louis C.K. type stand-up.
Yeah, some dark humor there. But yeah, Switch is out. I probably won't be getting one for a very long time, considering I just got that PC. And
I'm just real broke in general. I don't buy much, but whatever.
Eventually we will, and it'll be glorious. And instead of recording the podcast, we'll just spend all our time playing Nintendo.
Yeah, so we keep joking about ending it, but that'll probably end then. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we thought it was going to be at 1,000 downloads, and now it's just going to be whenever both of us can get a Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, I think that'll be a good way to end it, and we'll let you guys know when we do. And
we'll let you know when we stop the Xenoverse 7, a Dragon Ball podcast, to start the Rockford, Illinois Nintendo Switch podcast.
Oh, man. I would like to do some other podcasts, so honestly, whatever. We could do both.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, whatever. I've got nothing else going on in my life, so let's do that. Let's plan for another podcast someday if you guys start responding to us and giving us some feedback, because we do want to talk to you guys.
Yeah. Other than the feedback we're already getting.
Yeah, we have gotten some, which has been nice.
Yeah. We've had our best week ever download-wise.
Yeah.
As far as one episode goes, at least.
Right. Is that true?
Mm-hmm. That is 100% true, yep.
I'll believe you.
Our episode last Sunday, where we announced that we have gotten now 1,000 downloads total, has gotten, from the time we released it to today, more downloads in that span of 7 days than any of our other episodes have done.
Sure.
Which is good. It means the podcast is still growing. People are listening to it. And yeah, you guys seem to be coming back for more, which is awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, really. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else that went on this week for you besides the Nintendo Switch coming out?
No, just a concert, and other than that, nothing.
All right.
Yeah.
The DLC. You played it, right?
I did. I think I'm going to hold off on reviewing that until we get into the spoiler section, though.
Okay, fair enough.
Because I don't want to
give
a full recap of this and then just ruin people's...
Well, just tell them how you enjoyed it, at least. You don't have to get into any specifics.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you kind of a rough whether I liked it or not, and then we'll kind of go in-depth a little bit in the spoiler section.
Yeah.
It was good. The animation cutscenes were fantastic.
Yeah.
But I did beat it in 45 minutes.
It was just on the short side for how long you've waited for it?
Yeah. Well, not only that, but... I mean, that 45 minutes was actually me finishing a couple of story missions, in the main gameplay, and then getting the DLC. So, I mean, in reality, the DLC only took me like 25 minutes, half an hour.
So, it was just too short.
Yeah.
Pretty much. But... At the same time, without getting into too many specifics about even later on, like the Universe 6 arc really isn't...
No, there's not much you could have done with it.
Yeah, there's not really too much.
Yeah, I just wish it had been a little bit longer.
Sure.
Or not even longer, just more difficult.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Because, I mean, my character is all the way leveled up. But I don't think I should have been able to just plow through it in one go without dying.
Yeah, because you're obviously not the only person that's played that game that has their character level up. So, yeah, it makes sense to make it just more challenging, just to keep the game interesting.
Yeah, I would give it a gameplay-wise, as far as story, like a 6.5 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
But then the animation in those cutscenes kind of boosts it up to an 8.
Yeah, you showed me a couple of them. I haven't played Xenoverse in a long while. But they were very good looking. They were gorgeous.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Seeing stuff like that made me wish that they would just redo the whole, instead of doing Kai, just redo the series with 3D animation.
Oh, that'd be super cool. I'd be into that. Sometimes it makes their faces look lifeless though. So I don't know. I don't know. I guess who I would feel about it. It'd be a little strange.
Yeah. I'm just thinking like the action at least.
The action would be really, really
looks
cool.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of your mini DLC review.
Yeah, if you want more and you want to listen to the spoiler section, come on down.
Go ahead. I'm not going to apologize for spoiling you inside of a spoiler section.
Exactly.
So. But yeah, that's it. Get into some feedback. We did have one this week from Marissa in Oregon. Another great episode. Thanks for the shout out. You're welcome. I really enjoy when you guys mention differences between the sub and the dub. like the different things Bulma said to Oolong in last week's episode. I think those cultural differences are super interesting. And that's not that was the end of the end of the feedback. Thank you for that, Marissa. I never thought about it that way, that it was cultural, and when she brought that up, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, it's gonna be translated the best it can, and they are seeming to stick to the source of what it's from, so it's gonna seem different.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Not only is it different though, because I mean, the part she was referencing was Bulma telling Oolong he can do whatever he wants to her. Right. And then in the Funimation dub,
censoring is just bigger here.
Yeah, Bulma just saying that he can have his pick of the prizes. Yeah. And yeah, I think we're just a little more...
We're on the sensory side, just because Dragon Ball, like, even though it's not aimed towards children anymore, it was back then, because that's all cartoons were here.
Yeah, but I mean, just 2 weeks ago, not even, you had Gotenks calling Beerus a dumbass.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be inconsistent. Don't get me wrong. Like, Funimation seems like they're just playing with what they're supposed to, like, have their target audience be. But back when it was Dragon Ball Z, it was technically a kid's show. It was getting people... That was the first anime that was actually around here that actually gained traction. And they had to make it sort of kid-friendly, because that's what cartoons were. Like, you didn't have any adults watching cartoons back then. So
yeah, but I just feel like now that the show is marketed towards 20-something-year-olds who watched it when they were younger.
But it's still the same group of people doing it, so they're going to have a little trouble finding their, like, way to go at first, you would assume.
I wouldn't think so, though, because, I mean, even though they just did come back, they've done 2 movies now.
Yeah.
That weren't really geared towards kids.
But all the movies have been that way. Every single one of the movies have been that way.
Not like the last 2, though. Not to that extent.
I don't think that's true.
I do.
I've watched... They use the same language. They really do.
I've watched the movies and all that kind of stuff, but I never heard Goku swear in them.
They've definitely said bastard a lot.
Yeah. They did that in Kai when they remade that, but I'm talking about, like, damn it and that kind of stuff. I never really heard that.
Sure.
Yeah, it just seems like they're trying to...
It's just wishy-washy right now.
Yeah, they're trying to find a lane, which I hope they lean more towards making it good for us. Mm-hmm. And not good for 12-year-olds. But...
Yeah, but like the swearing isn't... I guess it would... In my mind, the difference would be sexually explicit over just explicit.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where that falls, so...
Yeah, and you know that over in Japan, they're pretty liberal about that kind of thing.
Exactly. So. It's just more censored over here, even if they are making progress with what they're doing. It's still sexually explicit over just swear words.
Right.
So
yeah, great feedback, Marissa.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So far, you're the only one who we've, other than Jeremy,
and Spencer. Let's not forget Spencer from
Spencer just wanted to marry you. So
yeah, no. I mean, I can't. It's about me, so like, why would I forget it? You know.
But yeah, we appreciate all the feedback that you guys give. Leave it on Facebook at facebook.com/Universe7pod, or send it to us on Twitter at Universe7pod, and we will read it on the podcast. Doesn't matter what it says, we will read it. And yeah,
that's pretty much it for feedback. Thank you again, but from that, anything else you want to talk about before we jump into the recap?
There is one more thing that I missed before I want to jump into the dub recap, and that is we have yet another #CellGames promo out. Mm-hmm. And this one seems a little different because I don't know. Have you watched it yet?
I watched it this morning.
Okay. They did say something in the video about the Cell game starting tomorrow or Monday.
So hopefully it's set tomorrow. So
he said tomorrow, and then One Punch Man asked if he could move it to Monday because he wants to go to the grocery store.
Right.
I'm not gonna spoil it. We'll leave a link in the show notes like we have for the last couple. Just watch it. It's so good.
Yeah, watch all of them if you can, because they are really excellent. Yeah, they're doing, like Nick said last week, they're doing an excellent job promoting it.
Yeah, and I actually watched the first episode of One Punch Man this morning.
Yeah, was it good?
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Where are you watching it? Is it on Crunchyroll?
I have it on Cody.
Oh, you have it on Cody. Gotcha. Yeah. Do you think it's on Crunchyroll?
Do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah.
Support the official release.
Yeah, fair
which
enough.
I do pay for a Crunchyroll subscription, so my conscience is clear.
Which is nice. Yeah, we can watch the English sub.
The Japanese subtitled version. Yeah,
Which, yeah, that's fine. We don't do that sometimes with the English dub because I miss it because I'm not.
Well, we've been catching it on Tsunami.
Yeah, which has been the best couple weeks. Yeah.
But yeah, new Cell Games video out, really good. We'll leave that link, and hopefully we'll actually get the Cell Games happening here in the next couple days.
If we do, I've been waiting for. It seems like forever.
I think.
When was the last episode?
I went back and checked, and I want to say
it was a while. It was like 2 months.
It was either October or November.
It wasn't the last. No way.
I think so. Because they did Broly. They did Broly in December and January.
Wow. That makes me so sad. Mm-hmm. That's so long.
Well, I mean, they got a ton of stuff on their plate, so...
I mean, you're not wrong, but it doesn't make me less sad. I'm not saying it's their fault. I'm just saying I'm selfish. That's it.
That's fair. So yeah, that's it for the news. That one little item there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the recap.
Thanks for waiting, Lord Beerus. A Super Saiyan God is born at last.
This episode pretty much picks up again right where the last week's left off.
Yeah, it's being real linear and not giving you any room to miss anything.
No jumps or anything like that, which is it's just nice.
Yeah, sure.
Ish. But yeah, the episode starts with Goten and Trunks and bringing out the Dragon Balls, and Beerus notices that they look like wish orbs, as he calls them, but they seem like they're a little too small.
And he's like, I have a real bad memory, so I guess.
Yeah.
I guess I could be wrong.
Yeah, but Whis notices that and says, well, it does make sense that they are wish orbs because their guardian is a Namekian.
And your memory isn't failing you because they are smaller than the ones we've previously seen.
Yep, and we knew that from the Namek saga.
Yeah, they're the size of a head.
Yeah, you have to carry two. If you carry two, they have to go under each arm.
Yep, watching Krillin carry those was the weirdest looking thing you could possibly see in Dragon Ball Z. They were bigger than he was.
Yeah, so Beerus and Whis are observing them get ready to call Shenron, and Goku does that. He summons Shenron in all of his smallish glory. I don't know if you noticed that, but Shenron was very, very small in this episode.
Yeah, they didn't really show a full pan of him though. It was just his face.
No, they did.
Did they?
Yeah, they panned out, and he looked like he was barely taller than the boat.
Just animation issues, or probably just some sort of foreshadowing for him, because it does lead into him being extremely scared of Beerus.
Yeah, it's just weird though. I mean, we've never seen Shenron
be small.
That small.
Well, he's always been sort of
huge.
Well, even that, he's just been larger in life as well. And this episode kind of brings him down to I'm still below a god, because he does kind of seem like a deity. When it comes down to it, he can grant any wish that they want.
Yeah, I just think it was bad animation.
Yeah, you're not wrong, but I'm just trying to make a better situation out of it.
Give him an excuse.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I'm trying to be a good fan here for once.
So they summon Shenron. Sky gets dark, all that good stuff that we know happens when Shenron is summoned.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to get through this real quick because I freaking hate them, but we pan to the Pilaf gang.
And
they notice that Shenron has been summoned, and Pilaf yells at him to start rowing back, and that's the last.
That's the last we see of it. So
why even see one more quick thing? I'm not even going to talk about it, whatever. We see the Pilaf gang.
And we don't like it.
So yeah. Shenron is summoned, and Goku just gets right to the point. He asks if he knows about the Super Saiyan God and if he can bring him here. And Shenron actually says he's aware of the god that they're asking about, which makes Goku breathe a huge, huge sigh of relief.
Yeah. And he's like, yeah, now Lord Beerus won't destroy us. And at that point, he's like, Shenron's like, he's talking a little bit, and then he says, wait, did you say Lord Beerus? And then he kind of scans the place, spots Lord Beerus, and you see him.
He freaks out.
You see him, because for the first time, you see Shenron kind of even have a personality.
Yeah. But other than being annoyed with you not making your wish.
But it's still in the growliest of tones. But he seems like a human at this point, like a grovelly human towards him.
Yeah.
And it's real weird to see.
It was hilarious. He gets super nervous when he spots him. He says he's a big fan of Beerus and apologizes for looking down on him.
For being taller. Yeah, he's like, I'm sorry for looking down. This is just how tall I am.
Yeah, which, like we said earlier, in this particular incarnation, or however you'd say that.
He doesn't.
He's not that tall,
and he just doesn't seem like the Eternal Dragon. He doesn't. He just seems awful. Like he's scared shitless mostly.
Just yet another thing that shows us just how scary Beerus the Destroyer is.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Goku asks him about the Super Saiyan God. Shenron's like, oh yeah, I know about him. And unfortunately, he can't bring him there, which irritates Beerus.
He's ready to destroy the planet because there's not one that currently exists, but it exists only in folklore of Saiyan.
Well, he's not ready to destroy it right then and there.
Not right then and there.
Yeah.
He said, I can't bring this person here because there's not one that currently exists. It's just Saiyan myth. Currently.
Yeah, I can tell you the lore about creating one.
Yes.
And he explains that apparently there's Saiyan lore books on Namek. Well, what used to be Namek.
What is Namek? Why was it on Namek?
I have no idea.
They didn't even know about, like, Frieza didn't even know about Namek.
Yeah. That didn't make sense to me. It was kind of cool hearing about it because it does kind of give you that Namekians are wise kind of mystique about them. But yeah, he explains that in the books on Namek that when 5 Saiyans with righteous hearts join hands and pour their spirits into another righteous Saiyan, he shall become the god of the Saiyans. In other words, a Super Saiyan god.
Right.
Yeah. It's funny, right after he says that, Bulma gets on Vegeta's case about not knowing this legend, because in her words, weren't you some big Saiyan prince and you didn't know this? And of course Vegeta just scoffs at it.
Doesn't say a word because he's super embarrassed, by the way. He seems a little embarrassed that he doesn't know it.
Yeah.
So it was good.
So yeah, after that, Shenron politely asks if he can take off. And Beerus, go ahead and get out of here.
Yeah.
And then tells Goku to get on with creating the Super Saiyan God. But unfortunately, Goku got lost and confused about halfway through Shenron's explanation, so
Gohan, not being an idiot, explains it to him.
Yeah, thank God for Gohan actually paying attention.
But he's also kind of an idiot because he didn't realize what actually has to happen.
True.
We'll get to that soon.
That's true. So they're getting ready to do it. Gohan explains that you have the 5 Saiyans and you hold hands, all that good stuff, and boom, out comes the Super Saiyan God. And Piccolo jumps in and goes,
well, we're screwed.
Yeah, we're screwed because we only, if you count the halflings, we only have 4 Saiyans with righteous hearts. And that was a not so subtle dig at Vegeta, saying that he does not have a righteous heart, and he would have been the 5th Saiyan.
Yeah, and then I forget who defends him
It's,
before
Master
Chi-Chi.
Master Roshi and Chi-Chi.
I know Chi-Chi for sure. I forgot about Master Roshi, but Chi-Chi is like, oh yeah, like he's a good guy. He's like a great father. He takes his family on lavish vacations, and he's like, oh god.
Well, the funny thing too is Chi-Chi said that Piccolo only said that because he's prejudiced.
Yeah.
Just like, you're not so subtly calling him a racist.
Yeah, pretty much.
But, it's Piccolo. You never know when him and Vegeta actually like each other.
I know, it's really hard.
You would have thought after the Buu saga that he would have kind of let that go. But
whatever, man. I don't have time for that.
Yeah, apparently not. So, after they come to his defense, Goku just like, you know what, yeah, let's give this a shot. So you have Goten, Trunks, Vegeta, and Goku. Mm-hmm. They're all holding hands.
Gohan as well.
Yeah, Gohan, that's what I missed. Gohan and Vegeta place their hands on Goku's back, and they all power up and just pour all their energy into Goku, which
makes him stronger than he's ever been, for sure. But it's not enough. It's not making him a Super Saiyan God. It's just making him a powered up version of himself.
Right, and they don't know that until Whis steps in. And I thought this was funny because Whis just is like, this isn't right. Was I the only one listening to Shenron? I want you all to think real hard and see if you can figure this out.
He's being super condescending.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He sounded like a kindergarten teacher.
Yeah.
But Whis explains why it didn't work, and he says that they're short one Saiyan. It's 5 Saiyans pouring their inner light or their heart, not their energy, into a 6th Saiyan.
So that's 5 plus 1. 6 total Saiyans.
Which we do not have.
So we're screwed, like Piccolo said. Not in the way he meant, but essentially,
Yeah, we're screwed. And when that happens, Beerus, for the 17th time, is ready to blow up the Earth, and he floats up into the sky, and he gets ready to, I'm assuming, launch a giant ki blast at the Earth when Videl steps in.
Videl, yep, she's here, and she talks to Beerus and says, "Wait," and then Gohan gets in her face, and she just kind of pushes him out of the way, and she's like, "Don't touch me." And we get like a little bit of the old Videl for a second, but she's so nice. I wish we had like old attitude teenage Videl.
Yeah, well, a lot of things change.
I know. Well, they're much older.
Well, I think too that back when Videl was kind of that angsty, headstrong teenager.
It's because Mr. Satan was banging a bunch of ladies.
No, it was because she thought that it was on her and her dad to, like, you know, be the strong people.
Yeah.
And
now she realizes
whatever strength that she thought she had has been completely
shattered.
Yeah, so it's like, why do I even have to worry about that anymore when my husband and his family can
do whatever they want, pretty much.
Save us from anything. That's my opinion. I could be wrong, but
that's fair. I just liked angsty Videl.
Yeah,
I did. But whatever. She kind of just gets in the way and asks, "What if a Saiyan is in my tummy, in my belly?" And Gohan is like, "Wait, what?" And she's like, "What if it's a Saiyan, but like, even if it's a quarter Saiyan?" And then everybody freaks out. Gohan especially turns into a lunatic and jumps up and down. He's a happy guy. He's gonna be a dad, and that's kind of where we go with that. And Videl just kind of talks to Beerus, and
well, before that happens, Gohan's about to hug Videl, and Mr. Satan knocks him out of the way, and is like, "Hey, this is great." And Chi-Chi asks if they picked a name yet, and she's like, "Well, we have Goku, Gohan, so this baby's gonna be Gomen. How about that?" Which is the worst name.
The hell is Gomen?
I don't know. I hate it. I hate it
like,
so much.
It sounds like Gomer, which is awful.
Gomer. That just sounds dirty.
It's not good. I can tell you that.
So yeah, she asks if Gomen is the name, and that's the comedic relief we have right there, I guess. But yeah, from there, like you said, in the middle of all of the celebrating over Videl being pregnant,
Beerus is like, "Get on with the Super Saiyan God crap already.
Will you guys hurry up and make a Super Saiyan God?" Which is funny because it's almost like you're at a Gordon Ramsay restaurant and somebody's just screaming about getting the food done right.
Which, yeah, that's who he is. He wants his Saiyans to be done the right way.
Yeah.
But yeah, then they kind of start the ritual, even though Vegeta's kind of doubtful about it. Was it Vegeta?
Well, no. What happens is they decide to try the ritual again with Videl.
Right.
And nothing is happening. It doesn't work. And Goku starts to wonder out loud, "Oh, well, maybe Vegeta isn't as righteous as we thought he was." And Vegeta's like, "Don't put this on me." Because, yeah, you're right. If it wasn't you, maybe Gohan and Videl's baby isn't very righteous either.
Gohan's like, "What the hell, man? Don't say that about my kid." Videl's like, "That's super rude."
I thought that was great.
Yeah. And then Gohan's like a normal person. He says, "Let's just try it again and concentrate harder.
Try again and really focus on pouring your inner light into him." And they all close their eyes, and this time the ritual actually works, and
it's the most drawn out scene you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, it takes probably 10-12 minutes of the episode, which by half.
By the time we're done with this whole situation, the episode's over.
Yeah, it's pretty cool though.
It was fine. That's all I got for it. Like, I don't need that much build up to a Super Saiyan God. Like,
why not? It's a transfer. I mean, think about it. It's the first transformation we've had in a long time.
Yeah, I guess that's true,
and it's something on a completely different level than what we know.
Yeah, and we get something a little bit different even during the process, I guess, where
it's not about just attaining power, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, and Beerus actually kind of makes a few comments which he doesn't in the movie, where he says, "That's the power of it. No, yeah, that's the power of a deity that I feel," and Beerus doesn't give a crap about any of it beforehand, like in the movie.
In the movie, or well, Yeah, we'll get to that when we get there. But yeah, there's a couple other things too. But yeah, so just to give you a rough idea of what happens the best we can on an audio podcast, but they're all holding hands, and then this golden light kind of wraps around all of them.
Which turns Videl into a Super Saiyan for some reason.
I just think it's the glow from the...
Nope, she has blue eyes and golden hair.
She's always had blue eyes.
But she has golden hair.
Yeah, I just think it's the glow from the light.
I hate it. I think it looks stupid.
I remember Reddit just going crazy about that back when the Japanese one. Ermagerd, Videl is a Super Saiyan. No,
she's not a Super Saiyan, but it looks real stupid.
No, well, yeah. But yeah, they all turn Super Saiyan. Videl starts glowing like a Super Saiyan. And you see the light in her stomach kind of glowing, and she says it's warm.
Yeah.
So we obviously know something is happening that's different than the first time. So this yellow light wraps around all of them, and then we get this blue light that starts coming out, and right when that happens is when we know that is godly energy, because Whis notices this energy that just came out is different than the one a moment ago.
Yes.
And that's when they really realize that it's working. And from there, we get this giant, almost like UFO looking beam, just of like blue white light that.
And the entire sky is covered in gold energy. By the way,
it's so cool!
It's like clouds.
Yeah, it looks like
in.
more like clouds.
It's super strange looking, but when that happens, the gold part, it like parts the sky into. Like,
it looks
through the like blue sky into the atmosphere.
Yeah,
like you can see.
The way I always thought about it when I watched it was. You have all those yellow clouds around, and then that white blinding light that kind of opens a hole in the middle. It looks like a hurricane.
It does look like a hurricane, but you see like the entire galaxy. You see stars. It's super strange looking.
Yeah. I mean, we get everything from in that little hole. We get rain and then hail and then storms and then snow. And then apparently it goes from daytime to nighttime 7 different times.
Yeah. It just looks... godly. It really does. It's almost like
while that's happening, we get this awesome soundtrack.
I was gonna say the music even sounds like it's making. It sounds like Greek mythology almost. It seems like the birth of a god, which is what we're seeing.
Yeah, that's exactly what it sounds like, and it's I loved it. I thought it was awesome.
And that soundtrack does make a comeback later on, which we won't get into it, but it is. Really good score.
Yeah, every time I hear that, it makes the hair on my arm stand up. But yeah, where were we?
We were just describing what was happening with like
the skies are parted, all that kind of stuff. The Pilaf gang is sinking into a hole in the ocean. I wish it would have swallowed them up, but we know it doesn't.
Yep.
And when that starts to happen, before that, Goku mentions that he's starting to ache all over. And Vegeta tells him, don't be a wimp.
Or I'll just do it for you, man.
He's like, hey, if you can't do it, I'd be more than happy to tag in. And after the whole day after tomorrow weather thing.
You see Videl start to like vibrate.
Yeah, it was weird.
It looked like she was about to explode into a million pieces, which would have been horrific.
I didn't like.
Yeah, and that happened. That pretty much happens till the end of it, where it kind of converges into just Goku, and he lifts off the ground.
Well, at that point, they're all off the ground.
Just him. Mm-mm. Really?
Yeah.
I thought that was just in the.
Yeah, no. Goku levitates first, and they all go up there with him.
That's in the movie.
And then, what's that?
I thought that was in the movie.
No, they all go up. They don't go up as high.
Right.
But they're probably 2 feet off the ground or something like that.
Sure.
But when that happens, Goku just gets wrapped up by this crimson red light. And the rest of them float towards the ground.
Right.
And from there, I guess Beerus and Whis are talking.
Finally, I'm going to be able to fight this Super Saiyan God I've been dying to fight since I woke up.
Yeah. A whopping 1-2 days ago.
Yeah, no kidding. It's a long time for him, all right?
And Whis agrees. He's like, yeah, it looks like you're going to get to meet your Super Saiyan God. And
from there, it's still just like super drawn out.
We'll get to the point. Goku floats back down to the deck, and the light is gone, and he is now a god.
He has... It pans to everybody's face as we see each part of his body, and it takes legitimately
too long.
probably 2.5 minutes to get from his feet all the way up to his newly red hair.
Which is cool.
It is really cool looking. And he turns around at the end, and we see red eyes with pupils, actually, which is strange.
Red eyes with black pupils.
Yeah, which doesn't happen unless he's a Super Saiyan 3, which I never understood, by the way.
Yeah.
But
his base hair.
Yeah, his base hair, but it's just red. And his ki is red. We haven't seen that yet.
No, we haven't seen that.
But his
ki can't be felt.
Or not his ki, his aura, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
But he's smaller.
Yeah, he slimmed down a little bit. Chi-Chi even said he looked younger.
Yeah. So I guess that's just what being a deity is. This is the truest sense of a Super Saiyan God, where it brings you back to your peak physical age, it seems like.
Yeah.
Where, like, it gets you back to the age where you're at prime condition to be. Like, Goku might be stronger now because he's developed transformations, but if he had this sort of power...
I don't think it dropped him in age, though, like, physically. I think it was just a side, like... I think when Chi-Chi said that, it was just because he had lost weight.
I don't think so at all. I think that brought him back to where his peak physical age should be.
I don't think so. But
the older you are...
we can agree to disagree on that.
Yeah, that's fair.
But, yeah, so that's Super Saiyan God. Your base form with crimson red hair, red eyes, black pupils, and you've slimmed down quite a bit.
Yeah.
And
it's really cool looking.
Yeah, Piccolo asked Dende if it worked,
and he's like,
and he confirms that it does because Dende is a god.
But why? Why is he a god? Just because he's
a guardian of the earth.
How does he get that power? Just because he claims a guardian of the earth? Anybody could go up there and claim guardian of the earth.
Well, I'm sure there was like Mr. Popo had him sign a contract or something like that.
All right. Popo's been there for all the guardians of earth, so I guess that could be possible.
Popo's a demon god.
He's just a genie.
No, he's a demon god. Dumpling. Who I named my cat after.
Oh, yeah. Sure. All right.
So, yeah, we get our Super Saiyan God, and that's confirmed by Whis, Beerus, and Dende. And the episode just ends with, Beerus is pumped, and Goku says he's getting excited.
Just classic Goku, ready to just blow his load over a real good fight.
Yeah. The end.
It's apologies for such a short recap, but it's just as dragging as last episode.
Yeah, at least we got something in this one, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's not watching rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, I'd rather waste half an episode on transformation.
It still sucks because there's not too much to talk about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, yeah, getting to that, what was your high-low of the episode?
My low, I'm going to say to start with my low because I really, really don't like how long it took from, like, just a couple minutes that we probably could have saved 8 total minutes on the episode if they wouldn't wasted so much time with just staring, which is just a classic Dragon Ball technique to drag out an episode. But we were just talking about this, where it panned to each one of our heroes' faces as it went up his body, and it probably took 2.5 to 3 minutes.
We had to see what his left leg and right arm looked like.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm not trying to check this guy out. I just want to see him fight.
I am.
Yeah, I mean, that's you. That's fine, man. I'm trying to check out Gohan, and that's it. But you're a Goku guy. I get it.
Yes, I am.
But that'd be my real low, is just a lot of wasted time where it shouldn't be. But that's how it's been for the past couple episodes, so we know that. The animation wasn't good from the get-go. Gohan and Goku seemed a bit...
They all seemed pretty rough when they were doing the ritual.
Not even just that, beforehand, when... After the wish, when Gohan had to explain to Goku what was going on, Gohan looked like he was staring into space, like he was a bit autistic. Sorry. He did. He was just like the animation didn't look like they had any life in their face.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. But fortunately, it does get better.
Yeah, it does. Not this episode, though, so it's not good. And that's going to be a part of my low. Yeah. That's really it for my lows.
What about your high?
My high, I like Shenron, like, as terrible as the animation was, as we talked about. I thought it was off-putting and, like, cool to see him be not high and mighty.
Yeah, I guess it gives you a little more of a better hierarchy of the gods.
Yeah.
Even though Shenron isn't really a god.
Shenron would never act that way towards Shin.
Well, he never acted like that to Mr. Popo.
Yeah, you're right. But he, like, even towards Shin, he's just legitimately afraid of Beerus.
Yeah, well, you think about it too, Porunga didn't either, and he had Kibito Kai and Old Kai.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that makes sense.
It's just weird to see a different, more comical side of it.
Yeah.
And just a human side of Shenron was just super weird to say. But on top of that, I don't really have too much to say about this episode. I like the transformation. I thought it looked really, really cool.
Yeah.
But I don't really have much else to add. There was nothing. It was all just kind of filler.
Right. Okay. Well, my high is that we have a new transformation.
Sure.
That was cool. Obviously, there's a lot more I could do than just say that was cool about a brand new transformation to Dragon Ball, but we really just saw the transformation itself. It wasn't some hefty power up. It was a ritual. So yeah, that would be my high. My low. Let's see. My low would just probably be the animation for this episode.
Sure.
There were a couple times where
it pulls you out of the story sometimes.
Yeah. Well, during the ritual in particular, there were a few times where I just kind of, instead of sitting there and enjoying the moment, I was sitting there thinking, wow, this animation kind of sucks.
This could have been way better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'd be it for mine.
This is actually the first kind of transformation we've seen that wasn't fueled off of some sort of emotion, which is kind of weird.
Well, Goku's Super Saiyan 3 wasn't.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
But we never saw what happened the first time he did
but but that was just based on, regardless, still, it was based on training and getting up to that next level. And still, Super Saiyan 2 for Goku was kind of the same way.
Yeah.
This had nothing to do with training. It was just a different kind of transformation. And that was kind of cool. It was a new aspect of Dragon Ball that we haven't seen before, really. Yeah. Something that you can make a deity out of the energy of 5 other people somehow.
Well, yeah, I mean, even in the lore books, I would imagine that no Saiyan alive before our heroes were anywhere near as powerful as Goten is.
Yeah, no
currently.
Kidding. Yeah,
and they were able to create a Super Saiyan God back then.
Yeah, Goten could.
Goten could rule planet Vegeta.
I was gonna say he could rat King Vegeta. He would be dead.
Yeah,
for sure. Which would have been a weird thing, but
yeah. So that's our high-low. We got a new sponsor this week.
Yeah, what's our sponsor this week?
Our sponsor this week for the spoiler section is Arby's.
Arby's. We've got the meats.
I was thinking it was Arby's because of the ad that they put on Facebook earlier this week.
They still have the meats regardless, so I'll just remember that.
Yeah, they've been posting some anime related advertising on Facebook, and one of them was about a fish sandwich, and Beerus and Champa were fighting over it, so that was cool.
How weird was that though? Why?
I have no idea. I wish I had posted it to Reddit though, because it made bank.
Did it?
Yeah, it got like 1,500 link karma.
Was that before I sent that to you?
I checked like a day later.
Oh man.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead now and get into the recap of episode 81. And if you guys don't want to be spoiled for the episode or the Xenoverse 2 DLC, feel free to skip ahead to the end. Yeah. So without any further ado, let's get into the spoiler section, not sponsored by Arby's.
We've got the meats.
潰しのベルガモ VS 孫悟空青天井の強さはどっちだ
Okay, welcome back for the spoiler section. Today's episode was titled Bergamo the Crusher versus Son Goku. And I freaking loved this episode.
I figured you would. And honestly, I thought it was great too. We got pretty much everything we wanted out of the fight.
We were getting more excited. We watched this live together. But we got more excited, in my opinion, watching this than we did last week.
I agree. Even though I'm a real big Gohan fan, I can't help but love Transformation City. I really can't. And giant power-ups and seeing a good Kamehameha is what really gets me going, if I can tell you the truth.
And we had one of the best of the whole series so far in this episode.
Yeah, it'll probably go the one against Hit and then this one.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I would agree. So like I said, title of this episode, Bergamo the Crusher versus Son Goku, which is the oldest of the Trio de Dangers, or however you say their names. This guy seems to thrive off of getting hit. he's a glutton for punishment.
But before we even get to that part, we
Yeah,
gotta talk about how he kind of beseeched all the gods into hating Goku. Like, he really sweet talked him.
He succeeded.
Oh, he really did. He begged the gods to realize how much of a piece of shit that Goku is. Pretty much, he's saying the only reason these universes are going to be wiped out is because this man doesn't have a conscience and he only wants to fight for his own benefit.
Yeah, you know what though? That annoyed me because we just got done talking last week about how
it was going to happen anyway.
Yeah, Goku saved them in a way. I mean, not all of them, but by him asking for this tournament, he gave them a chance now to survive. At least one of those universes.
I was gonna say, not just Universe 7. He gave all of those universes a chance to live. But I think, like, kind of the whatever behind it is he knows his universe is the weakest, so he's trying to kind of paint Universe 7 as the bad guy, so everybody kind of guns for them.
Right, which at first I didn't think was that big of a deal, but now that we have the rules for the tournament, it does make a lot more sense.
Sure does. We'll get to that a little bit later on, but it's a real bombshell.
Yeah. So before we start they start the fight, Bergamo asks the Zenosama if he wins, and which would make Universe 9 the winners of the Zen exhibition match, that the Zenosama would throw out their plans to destroy the universes. And they actually agree.
Mm-hmm. But if Goku even remotely seems like he's trying to not give it his all or throw the match, all the universes will be erased in a
every
heartbeat.
single one of them, not just the ones that were on the chopping block.
All of
every
them.
single one. And this is where I was kind of like, Goku, come on.
He was being a freak, man.
Oh, yeah.
He's a belligerent alcoholic.
I read this on Reddit. I can't remember the name of the person who posted it, but it made me laugh so hard. Goku is a drunk driver that only kills terrorists and serial killers.
It's not on purpose, but it happens.
Yeah.
Whatever, like, he kills people.
He's super reckless, but it always ends up, like, working out in the end.
Even though it's the worst thing he could do at the time. But you know what? That's our Goku.
That's our Goku.
And that is honestly the best way you could possibly sum him up when it comes to how he feels about fighting.
Mm-hmm. So Goku, even, like we said, he states, he says that, well, I was going to give him my all anyway, so let's go. Yeah, and they start the fight, and it seems pretty good, pretty evenly matched. Goku seems to have the upper hand early, and all of a sudden Bergamo stops and just gives Goku a bunch of free shots, and we find out that his power is taking the blows that his opponents give them and claiming that as his own power, and he can dish it out twofold. Yeah. So, I mean, Goku could hit him with a full power punch, and he would get hit back with a punch that's twice as strong as anything he could give out.
And this excites Goku, of course.
Because that's our Goku.
Mm-hmm. And he kind of just gives it his all. He's like, whatever, I'll give you as much power as I possibly have, and then we'll see how strong you can really be. If you have limitless power, that's what I wanted in a fighter.
Not only does he get stronger every time he takes a punch, he gets bigger.
Yeah, which is weird.
So by the time Goku's really just giving it to him, this guy's massive. He's like King Piccolo, Uzuru.
That was a porno. By the time Goku was giving it to him, he is massive. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, it's late, guys. Welcome to Universe 7 After Dark.
Yeah.
So Goku's just, I don't even want to say it, but Goku's giving it to him. And
he's getting big, baby.
Yes, he is, and getting really strong. And Goku asks him, hey, how much power can you take? And it was incredible, because then Goku transforms into a Super Saiyan and just keeps hitting him even more and more and more and more.
And by this time, he's as big as the Orozu apes.
I would say he's almost bigger, yeah. And Goku's using that to his advantage. He's finding blind spots hitting him in the knees, hanging on his back, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Hercule asks, I gotta get out of the habit of saying Hercule. Mr. Satan.
Why is he doing this?
Yeah, he's like, every time he hits him, he gets more powerful. Why is he doing this? And Gohan's like, yeah, he kind of has this habit of getting more excited the stronger his opponent gets. And Beerus says, these Saiyans are ridiculous.
Putting everybody in danger. But he's kind of like Gohan in that aspect where when he is in the corner, he fights stronger, but for a different reason. Gohan gets angry. Goku gets excited.
Yeah.
And that's when his real power comes out.
Because Goku seems to have a little more of a grasp on what he's doing than Gohan does. Gohan just kind of goes into this blind fury.
Belligerent animal.
Where Goku's just super calculated.
Yeah, he knows
he
it.
fights.
Like
We said it before, he's fighting genius.
Yeah, he's one of the most intelligent fighters probably in all of the universes.
So yeah, Goku's fighting him. And he tells him, you know what, I'm going to give you even more power. And he jumps up into the air and tries...
he does like 4 backflips and goes straight into Super Saiyan Blue.
Which, when you hear Zeno-sama say it, you'll want to listen to it on repeat. It's fantastic.
It's so cute.
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and pause right here, and we're going to play this 5 times in a row.
You're welcome.
Was that not the cutest thing you ever heard?
You're welcome.
Yeah, so Goku turns Super Saiyan Blue, and he is like, you know what? I'm going to give you an even bigger power. And then goes Kaioken on top of it.
King Kai Fist.
God, I hate that name so much. Yeah, Goku goes Kaioken and then throws this massive Kamehameha down at Bergamo.
The best. One of the best ones that we've seen.
Yeah, the animation on it was crisp, and it was good.
It looked like Bogama was actually going to cut through it for a minute.
Yeah, he threw his Bergamo penetrator
Gross.
back at the Kamehameha, and yeah, he, like you said, it looked like he was going to win out there.
It was right next to his hands, his clothes.
Yeah, it got right through his Kamehameha and was right on Goku, and then Goku just,
he's like, I'll just be myself and actually go full power.
Yeah, and he just launches it straight back at him and overwhelms him. And instead of him being able to take that power and make it his own, it just totally overwhelms him.
Because Goku has pretty... even... Champa says it earlier in the episode.
His power is limitless.
Or not even just that. His limit is really hard to gauge, if he even has one. Pretty much is what he said.
And we didn't mention before, when he turns Super Saiyan Blue, all those gods are shocked.
They're like, with this pressure, this is the power that rivals the gods.
Yeah, and that's not the first time we're kind of getting a deeper dive on how Super Saiyan Blue works.
It's not an energy that you can feel. It's a pressure.
That's the second time we've heard that.
Yeah, we've said that. When was that?
Trunks said it.
Right.
The pressure's overwhelming. So we're kind of getting an idea of how...
You can feel it, but you can't really feel it.
Yeah. Well, I saw something on the Dragon Ball subreddit, which I thought was so cool. Think about it. Throughout Dragon Ball Z, it's power levels. You're just getting stronger, and you can feel that. How terrifying would it be if you were fighting this guy and he just kept getting stronger and stronger and stronger when he's doing these transformations, and all of a sudden his power just completely and totally disappears?
That'd be terrifying.
And when he makes that transformation and his power level disappears, he just gets super confident.
And it's just like, yep, this is it. This is what I've got. This is my max power, and you have no idea what I can do now.
It'd be terrifying.
That'd be like the worst version of a serial killer you could possibly have.
Pretty much. Anyway, I just thought that was a kind of a cool
analogy, kind of.
Yeah. Not even I guess that is an analogy. But yeah, just imagine that.
Very scary.
So yeah. Where were we? Yeah, Goku overwhelms him. And Bergamo, the last thing he says before he just collapses was
7. Unbelievable.
Yeah. And I thought Goku was going to give him a senzu bean, and I was kind of disappointed that they didn't make that happen.
Goku doesn't care right now.
Yeah.
They really paint him as the villain in this episode.
And he kind of embraced it at the end there.
He's like, whatever, man. If I'm going to be the villain, I'll be the villain.
Yeah. Because after the fight, Goku turns and yells out to all the gods, go ahead and get your best fighters and come at me, pretty much.
And that's kind of how Toriyama always wanted him to be. He was never meant to be a hero. He was meant to be sort of an anti-hero.
Yeah, I wouldn't go as far as saying he's an anti-hero.
That's how he's supposed to be portrayed. Not that he was portrayed that way when the series first ran through. But Toriyama has pretty much full creativity over this series.
No.
Pretty close.
No.
He doesn't have as many editors as he did between...
He doesn't even do it with the manga.
I'm not talking about the manga.
That's what I'm saying, though. Is like he gives them like a storyboard, and then they kind of do what they want.
But he has last say on it. He's the editor. He has total creativity, pretty much.
I think that's true, though. Like even the Gods of Destruction, he didn't design all of them.
No, that was Toyotaro for half of them.
Yeah, I think he's... I don't know. I think doesn't have as much control as we think he does.
He does in the fact of how he wants Goku portrayed, because he never wanted Goku portrayed the way he was. He was portrayed exactly like this though in the original series. It's worse now.
I don't think so.
I think it is.
No, it's just different. We've just never been in situations like this. It's just...
But he's selfish. He's an anti. He's never supposed to have been portrayed as the hero. He's always been supposed to be the anti-hero because he does good things on accident.
I wouldn't... See, that's where I disagree. I wouldn't go as far as saying that he's just an anti-hero who kind of stumbles into doing good things.
Why?
Because he's always done the good thing. And it was never...
Only for when it comes down to the sake of what matters to him, not for the greater good.
Okay, why did he want to get down to the Earth after Beerus knocked him out on King Kai's planet? Was it for selfish reasons, or was it because he wanted to save the Earth?
Both.
It's because he wanted to save the Earth.
Save the Earth and fight him again.
He wanted to save the Earth.
Yeah.
So that's not an anti-hero.
But that's sort of... But like that... That's not the greater good, though. What I'm talking about is he wants to do things for his own reasons, where anything that affects him is what's going to matter to him. What happens to everybody else that's outside of Earth pretty much doesn't really care a lot of the time.
Yeah, I don't think that makes him an anti-hero, though.
I think
that's going a little far.
That's not really the actions of a hero, though.
I never said he was a hero. I just said he wasn't an anti-hero. I never claimed that he was a hero. I just disagreed with the fact that you said he was an anti-hero.
Sure. Okay. Agree to disagree. I don't... They've just never really wanted him to be a hero.
I don't know. We'll have to look that up because I don't think that was said.
All right. Well, we'll get back to that next week.
Yeah. Speaking of getting back to something next week, turns out we were both completely wrong about the mortal level. Regarding the universes, which I found out right after we posted the episode last week, which sucks because I would have gone back and recorded over it, but
whatever.
It turns out it has nothing to do with... We were talking about it last week, like, wow, imagine how strong these other universes are if ours is the second from the bottom. It turns out that the mortal level has a lot more to do with just like quality of the universe,
which we kind of mentioned, but we didn't really like get the full grasp of it.
No, yeah, and that's why Beerus and Shin were arguing with each other, because
the job of the deities is to
cultivate life,
exactly, and make it quality life, not a bunch of like low life pieces of crap.
Yeah, and Shin just kind of sat back and let the humanity run its course. Yeah. And Beerus, rather than destroying the crappy, I guess if you were to put it in terms like that, crappy mortal level worlds to kind of bring your average up, instead he was just sleeping and only destroying worlds where he didn't like their food.
Yeah. So, which speaks a lot about how much fighting and power means to the gods, because even though humans aren't inherently strong, they have a lot of humanity and they're good people, so they only care about strength.
Right.
That's it. That's all anybody cares about in this entire, not one universe, but everything in all of creation is all about strength.
What do you mean all about strength?
How much, or how high of an average power level everybody has is all that matters to Xeno. Pretty much. No,
that's what I'm saying. It's not what it is. Mortal level is just like quality of people. Like how good your civilization is. That's what I'm saying. Like the Supreme Kai's job is to cultivate life, make sure all these civilizations are good and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So that I think I think after last week we got a better grasp on what the job of the God of Destruction and Supreme Kais are.
Is to get rid of crap.
Pretty much. So the Kaioshin are there to cultivate life, go to those worlds and help them realize their full potential, not only strength-wise, it's important, but like as a civilization. And then the Gods of Destruction are the ones that are going around to the universes where, not universes, the worlds where they're just kind of like we saw with Zamasu. Yeah,
I was going to
savages.
This is what I was just going to bring up. Is kind of Zamasu's kind of right then with what he was, not right because he turned into a sociopath, but why was he sitting back watching these things happen? So he was like, at the end of the day,
was right.
He had the right grasp, which means all of these universes' gods,
instead of just sitting back and watching, they intervene quite a bit more than ours do.
Yeah,
because ours don't intervene.
So Universe 10 and Universe 7 have the same ideals, and Zamasu couldn't understand why. And at the end of the day,
he just took it too far.
He took it too far, but he was right in the eyes of Zeno.
I wouldn't go that far. I think he was right in a way, but
obviously he was out of control, and like he didn't.
Well, no, his big thing was he was angry that a mortal had power that rivaled the gods. I don't think he had an issue with. I mean, he did have an issue with people fighting each other and that kind of
not
thing.
Being civilized.
But the thing that really set him over the edge was
that's
a mortal having the power over.
What turned him into a sociopath. But before that, he, like when they went forward in time, he still had that same ideal, and he just didn't understand why they weren't intervening on the things that should have been intervened with. Well,
but Gowasu was right about that when he talked him down.
Yeah.
Was that is the job for the God of Destruction. And that's what they were supposed to do, is go to those types of civilizations and just wipe them out.
Right. Which, yeah, that's fine. But
so if you think about it that way, Zamasu, he was right about what was supposed to be done in terms of the world, but it's not his job to do. In that case, Zamasu was wrong and Gowasu was right.
Yeah, if he wants that job, go apply for God of Destruction instead of Supreme Kai.
Right. So anyway, yeah, we got really off course there, but I wanted to go back and correct what we said wrong last week. So it turns out mortal level has everything to do with quality of people and all that kind of stuff rather than just power level.
Sure.
So we jump back now to the episode, and the Daishinkan gives the rules for the tournament, which are the match will last 48 minutes. And when I say match, it means match. There is one match. It is 8 universes on 8 universes all at the same time. This is a battle royale.
This is a free-for-all. This is terrifying.
Yep, so pretty much the rules are at the end of the 48 minutes, whichever universe has more fighters left standing wins, or if there's just one fighter left, whichever universe he's in wins.
Which is also the same as the previous statement. Because that's the most fighters left still.
True. Yeah, that's true. Other than that, you can win by ring out. You can throw them off of the...
No, just ring out. If you knock them out, just throw them off.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You can either knock them off, or if they're too hurt to continue, you pick them up and throw them off.
That's what I'm saying. It's just ring out and that's it.
Yeah. There is flight. The only rule is you can't fly outside of the ring.
Right.
We on our first watch we thought it was no flight in general, but I did a little more digging and it turns out you can fly as long as you're not flying outside of the ring.
Right.
And other than that, no weapons
besides techniques.
Yeah, weapons that aren't techniques.
So say if Black was fighting in this tournament, he could use his energy sword because that's a technique.
Or Frost with his poison needle.
That's what I'm saying. It's not a weapon, it's a technique.
Yeah, so those are the rules.
Oh, and you can't kill.
Yeah, and no killing. Yeah.
Which is surprising. I thought there would for sure be killing.
I mean, considering they're all going to die anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I really kind of got blindsided by that. I did not think it was going to be a battle royale. It's going to make it a lot more interesting.
That was the weirdest thing.
Even we said that they do not... Goku is, even though he's a great fighter...
He's not a good teammate.
Being a team player is not in his DNA.
And then Goku's like, it's fine. I have Gohan. I'm really counting on you, Gohan. We can work well as a team.
Yeah, sorry, son. You're gonna have to figure out a way to make us all coexist together.
So, Gohan has an even bigger role in this arc, which is great. He's gonna kill it in this arc.
That noise you hear is Mason's pants getting tighter.
Yep, and they're as tight as they're at full torque right now. But it's gonna be a great arc, and this is the weirdest sort of fight that we've ever seen in Dragon Ball.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I can't wait.
I don't understand how they're gonna concentrate on all the stuff happening at once.
Well, I mean, I think we're gonna jump around quite a bit.
It's gonna be a lot of jump arounds, which we've talked about before, is good for the episodes.
Yeah,
because it keeps us involved and it keeps us interested.
I mean, you could give me one fight a week from one
and I'll still watch it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll still be just as good though.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting. The episode ends with Toppo, who is from, I think, Universe 11, jumping into the ring and wanting to fight Goku because this guy is some sort of Ginyu Force for good leader.
Yeah, he's some sort of
and
freak. I think
he sees Goku as a villain. And Goku even says, I'm evil, huh? All right, let's go ahead and fight because this last fight didn't give me any satisfaction.
Yeah, and I thought Toppo was going to be so much cooler than he is.
He looks like Dr. Eggman.
He does look like Dr. Eggman.
If he skipped leg day.
And then, oh man, it was just bad. I think his design is awful.
I do too.
I don't like it. Because they made him seem so much more ominous, and when he took off his cloak, that cloak didn't portray anything what he looks like. No. Not one bit. So it was just really disappointing to see not character design I actually enjoyed.
True. Yeah, I'd agree with that. So yeah, our next fight is going to be Goku versus Toppo, and unfortunately we're not going to get that for 2 weeks.
Yeah, we don't have any Japanese episode next week, so our next week episode is going to be a little bit shorter.
Well, I think we can find something to talk about instead.
Yeah.
Like maybe we'll do like a little mini discussion about something Dragon Ball related in there. We'll throw it in there.
Yeah, we'll try and make it around the same like we have, but there won't be any Japanese recap next week.
Right. Yeah. So that is the Japanese episode. Go ahead now. I'll just give a quick spoilerish review of the DLC pack for Xenoverse 2. It is the Universe 6 versus Universe 7 tournament. The Time Patroller character that you created is helping out the Universe 7 team because Goku is nowhere to be found. Why? I have no idea. They didn't explain it in the DLC, which ticked me off.
Oh, good.
But yeah, you fight Kaba, Hits, and Frost, and it was good. It just, I was more excited to see Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku in some shape or form, and seeing the ring for the Universe 6 tournament, which was awesome.
Yeah.
Other than that, I really didn't get a whole lot out of it, other than hearing the voices for Champa and Vados, which
still cool, but you want gameplay. That stuff's nice, but you also want good gameplay.
I paid for the season pass for a reason, not to get
just for
DLC I can beat in 25 minutes.
Exactly. It's supposed to add content to your game to keep you interested.
Right. So, yeah, that's your quick 30-second review. Gameplay was a little too short for me. The footage was phenomenal. If there's anything I can pitch you on as far as telling you to buy this DLC pack if you haven't already, do it for the cutscenes, because the cutscenes are incredible. I cannot stress that enough. I've watched it like 5 times this week just to see those cutscenes again.
That's I haven't played it, but I was shown them, and he's absolutely right. They are extremely good cutscenes.
Yeah. So I'd have to give that a 8 out of 10.
Yeah,
it gets the boost from 6.5 to 8 just because of the cutscenes.
Okay, fair enough.
But
how about for this episode in general? What would you give this episode rating wise?
9.
You give it a 9?
9.5. I'm gonna give it a 9.5.
I'll swap you from last week. I'll give you a 9.
Yeah, I just seeing Goku cocky like that.
Man, he's
telling looking up to the gods and saying, "Bring it on!"
Saying, "Suck me, daddy. I'll take y'all on."
You know what? I mean, I half expected him to be saying that to the gods rather than throw your best fighters at me.
You throw yourselves at me and I'll fight you too.
Pretty much. I was expecting him to just be like, you know what? I'll take all you on, because you could tell even some of them were terrified when he went Super Saiyan Blue.
I think he's stronger than some gods of destruction for sure.
I think so.
I would say the Universe 9 God of Destruction he's stronger than. He seemed legitimately terrified.
Yeah. So, yeah, 9.5. This is one of my favorite Super episodes to date out of all of the arcs.
Mm-hmm.
So, this, like we said...
Do you think he's close to Beerus?
No.
You don't?
No. Goku?
If Toppo's in line to be the next God of Destruction in Universe 11...
I think our God of Destruction is on the higher end.
Even over Universe 11, who seems to have some of the highest rated mortals, it seems like. Because they do, from the spoilers we've gotten, they have that one guy he's fighting in the very opening, who seems to be giving him a great fight, by the way. The purple guy, or whatever he is.
Yeah. I don't think that Goku's close to... I'd say if Beerus is a 10, that Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku's like a 8 3/4 or a 9.
But then that has to make Kaioken up there.
I mean, it
right?
is.
It has to be
I'm
close.
talking about Beerus, so I don't think it makes him close. I don't think he's close. I think Beerus would still work him.
Even in Kaioken?
Yep.
Really?
I think
it's gotta be
I think he'd take I think you would take a minute to adjust to that speed, but I mean, was able to beat him.
You know what's entirely possible? SSJ Blue Vegito Kaioken.
Yeah, I don't think we'll ever see it though.
Never gonna happen. But that
he would fuse, he would power up, and then defuse immediately from the energy.
From the Patara.
Yeah.
God, I hate that new rule.
Yeah, I don't think that'll ever happen. I was thinking about that before we started recording, actually, and that was the first thing that popped into my head. Is that time limit would be 1 minute? So
if that, yeah, it'd probably just shatter the earrings. Honestly.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was hoping to see Vegito in the tournament, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
No, I'm still bummed about Goten and Trunks not participating.
Yeah, I'm not, because I don't see them. I would rather...
They took it serious when Boo was killing everybody.
Did they?
They did, and Gotenks didn't.
Yeah, but that's like... I don't know. That's like saying that we don't care, but if we fused both of us together, wouldn't care.
We'd just be idiots.
Yeah.
But that's true. Like, they were working super hard when they went in the time chamber, but like Gotenks is a delinquent.
Yeah. I would have, you know who I'd rather have instead of Gotenks or Goten Trunks or any of the Earthlings? I would rather than bring back Cell.
Yeah, that's what Masako X was saying, actually.
Really?
Mm-hmm. He was saying Cell would be one of the best people to bring back because he has honor. Like, he knows how tournament rules work. He has honor in the fact that he has a spirit for fighting because he has the cells of everybody in him. He has a little bit of honor. He has his like flamboyant, vindictive side because of Frieza, but a lot of it, like, he has tournament knowledge, and he's
got a lot of Saiyan in him.
He also enjoys fights.
Yeah.
So I think
I would rather have that than a bunch of Krillins.
Yeah, that's fair. But Goku and Vegeta and even Gohan are way more powerful than Cell are currently, and they could keep him in check. So I think he would just fight.
Oh yeah, I'm not worried about that. I would just much rather see him than...
That's what I'm saying. He wouldn't be a villain.
No, he wouldn't be a liability at all. So, yeah.
I think it would be interesting. I really do.
Like you said, really, 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 really good episode. I can't even wait for the tournament that much more now.
It's gonna be ridiculous.
So, 2 weeks now until the next Super Japanese episode. Well, the next true new episode of Super. To say it that way instead of English Japanese.
Yeah.
So, 2 weeks from now, we'll give you your next recap on Super.
Our spoilers section.
Yeah. We're going to be in contract talks and see who our sponsor is going to be for 2 weeks. That's good. That'll give us another week to kind of highball them on what we're going to demand.
Yeah, on their offers. We'll be trying to update our quality of audio, so we'll hopefully get some money from these guys.
So yeah, that's going to be it for this week's episode. I just want everybody to remember that Goku is a drunk driver that only kills terrorists and serial killers.
Yeah, sure.
Be sure to rate and review the show on iTunes or whatever podcast app you listen to. The downloads are great, but reviews are really essential to keeping us on the charts.
Yeah.
Share the show with your friends or on social media. Speaking of social media, you can connect with us on Twitter at Universe7Pod or on Facebook at facebook.com/Universe7Pod. Send any of your feedback there. We love getting feedback from you guys. Anything we'll get, we'll read it on the podcast, and we will respond to you on whatever social media network you use. We'll be back next week to talk episode 10 of Dragon Ball Super. No recap for Japanese because we won't have a new episode. So have a great week. Thank you so much for listening, and until next time,
Adios.